We're going to show you how to set up the tent for Harriton Crew. First thing you have to do when you unload, when you get the trailer open, there are 4 items that have to come out. This is the toolbox right here. You'll find this on the rack towards the front of the trailer. The green bin is actually the roof of the tent, the white bag are the panels, and then this is the tent frame itself. So as soon as you get the trailer down there, the first thing you have to do is unload these 4 items, and then you can start setting up from there. You need a minimum of 4 people, ideally 6, but you can get by with 4 as long as you know what you're doing. So hopefully if you watch the video, you'll figure that much out. All right, first thing we have to do is we have to get the frame out. So simply open up the bag, and you need a couple people for this. Stand it up and slide it down, guys. Okay. All right, tilt it towards me. Someone grab the bag down the end. Oh. Okay, so once you get the frame out, you're going to stand it up. You'll see the legs at the flat side. Let's get this up. Okay, so what you want to get, at this point you need 4 people, 1 for each corner, to grab a corner and then just start walking it out. Just like that. Okay, hold it here. Once the tops come up around a foot or so, you want to stop, and then you need to get ready to go ahead and grab the top of the tent. So let's grab the top of the tent.
Should they stop it?
Yeah. Okay, all right, when you open up the tent, you want to make sure that the logos go on the long side, not on the short side. So where it says Harriton Crew, that's the way it goes. So you need 4 people, grab a corner. All right, and then what you want to do is basically just kind of flip it over. So this takes a little bit of effort. So on the count of 3, let's just try and get it over there. 1, 2, 3. All right, sometimes what you got to do is someone's got to get inside the frame and help bring it over. So. All right, now, once you get it over, you want to line up the corners. And you'll see the corners have seams here, so you just want to make sure you're going to have the things relatively lined up. And then what you need to do is expand the frame like we did before to fit into the corners. So you get 4 people at the corners, and then once again you're going to walk the frame out. Ready? Okay, this is the first part that we have to do. There's a little hook here, and you have this frame. So when everybody grabs a corner, what will happen is as they slide up, this will catch, but it's kind of tough to do as the tent gets tighter. So if everybody grabs a corner, I found sometimes the easiest thing to do is to actually kind of get down like this and use your shoulder to kind of pop it up like that until it locks. So everybody needs to grab a corner, and it's kind of, sometimes it's easier if we can all do it at one time because it'll expand the tent. Everybody grab a corner.
Chris, wait, when did you get Lisa's corner?
And then what you want to do is you need to stand on the bottom, or have someone else stand on the bottom. And then when on the count to 3, you want to just kind of grab that like I said and slide it up, and you should feel it kind of click and lock in place. So on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that locked in. You heard a click. Now, you let me know. Okay, once you get this up, and again, that is definitely the hardest part, then what we need to do is you need to raise the legs. Now, the way this mechanism works is if you stand on the very, very bottom part, and this is where you really need to do everybody at the same time. Yeah. So you stand on the bottom. Again, if you only have 4, you can leave those 2 middle ones, but you definitely need the 4 corners. Then what you want to do is you want to grab it, and you're going to be able to lift up. So on the count of 3, everybody lift up. Just keep coming up. Now you'll feel it lock into a hold. We generally go to the top hole, so if you feel it lock in, this is black lever you kind of flip down, okay, turn to the right, and then that will basically loosen it, and then you can slide up more. So keep coming up. Everybody push down. to unlock it.
Push it because it's stuck. Yeah.
If it's stuck, it means it's locked in place.
Get a little click.
There you go.
Which hole do you go up to?
Now, if you notice, if you look at the inside here, there are 1, 2, 3, and there are 4 holes on the inside. We generally put it in on the 4th hole. So what you want to do is line this peg up, this pin here, with the fourth hole, and you'll actually slide it down. And sometimes it just needs a little bit of coaxing, but you'll feel it kind of lock in. Like that. You'll feel it click and lock in. Sometimes you actually need to visually see it and then push it in. So you're okay there, there.
I'm not sure.
Okay, next thing is to get the sides up. There are several clear panels. You want to grab one. All the panels are the same size. So you really, if you look at the tent, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 basically separate areas. We utilize 4. We leave 2 open for entrance in and out, and also for the grill. So basically what you want to do, these are all Velcro. So if you look at it here, you have to turn this one around, you'll match up the Velcro. Okay? And what you'll do is you'll just kind of line up here, and if you look up top, you'll see that there's some Velcro there, so you just kind of stretch it up and line it up like that. And then once that's done, there are Velcro wraps on the end that you can do. Not all the sides have Velcro wraps unless it's a real windy day. I wouldn't worry about it. So as long as it kind of anchors in there a little bit, we're fine. The other panels, generally what we do is we'll put one panel here. We'll put another panel here basically. We leave this end open because this is the end that the grill goes in on. So that stays open, and then we usually leave this panel open back here for people to come in and out because this is facing the river and that's where everybody sits their chairs. So basically you'll have a panel here, here, there. You leave those 2 open. There are panels that are solid that have our logos on them, which are right here. The Harriton logos. They're the same size. It doesn't really make a difference. You know, if you want to put one here facing Kelly Drive, you can do it. It really doesn't make a difference where they go. And generally, that's what you want to do to get all the panels on. And just for the sake of time, we're not going to put all the panels on today. But again, they're all the same exact size, so it's kind of hard. They'll fit in any of these open areas. After that, you have a couple more things to do. You need to go in here to the toolbox, and you need the hammer, and you need stakes. So basically, these are the stakes. If you go to each one of these corner ones, there are little holes there. And then basically what you want to do is just line up the stake to one of those and just hammer it down into the ground until it meets flush. Again, that's just to anchor the tent. The last thing to do is to grab another stake, and they're all in there. And that is to use these ropes here. What you want to do is you want to tie a knot in it around there, tie it pretty tight, and then once you get it tied tight, then what you're going to want to do is to kind of stretch it pretty taut like this, coming at an angle, and then just hammer it into the ground that way. That will keep this taut. That'll keep the tent from blowing away on a windy day, which is important, because I think we've all seen tents lift up down there, and we don't want that to happen to ours. All the stakes, basically, all these ropes should have some caution tape around. It's hard to see them when you're walking by, so by having the tape on there, hopefully prevent anybody from tripping. If they're not attached to the ropes, inside one of these bins there will be a roll of yellow caution tape. Just pull a piece off and tie it there so we can see it. So again, just hammer everything in. Once that's in, once the stakes are down on the feet, the stakes are in on these, the panels are up, 10 people are done. The tent is all set up, and then it's just a question of putting in the tables and the food and everything else.